Is the carnivore diet sustainable long term? Here's the truth that no one talks about. I'm a pastor, an entrepreneur, a world traveler, and a martial artist. But most importantly, I'm a devoted husband and dad with an amazing family. And the older I get, the more I realize the importance of being healthy so that I can be all that I can and should for my family. I haven't always been healthy though. In fact, I've struggled with my weight for a lot of my life. But in recent years, I found some great success in my weight loss and fitness journey living a lower carbohydrate lifestyle, particularly that of the keto and carnivore variety. Follow me on my journey as I continue to explore and share the benefits of living the low-carb lifestyle. One of the absolute biggest questions that people ask about the carnivore diet is this: is this actually sustainable long-term? The reality is you've probably heard this asked before, and you've probably heard it as a means of criticizing the carnivore lifestyle. Can you really eat meat, just meat, for months, years, maybe even your whole life? Or is this just another extreme diet that people eventually quit? Well, in this video, I'm going to give you the real answer. Not the extreme version, not the internet version, but here's the practical truth about long-term carnivore diet and lifestyle. First of all, friends, if you're new here, my name is Jason, and I help busy parents and professionals like yourself and myself simplify their health using the carnivore diet and a few metabolic strategies as well. And here's exactly what I've seen over and over again. Carnivore can be sustainable long-term, but only if you approach it the right way. So let's go ahead and break down what that looks like, shall we? So here's what people get wrong about sustainability. Most people think that sustainability means perfect forever, zero flexibility, and also never deviating. And that's not real life, right? Sustainability actually means that you can stick with something, and that also that it fits within your lifestyle. On top of that, you can't forget about the fact that it obviously has to support your health long term. So carnivore isn't about perfection, despite what many will say. It's about what you can consistently do over time. So why then do some people fail long term? Well, first of all, let's go ahead and address the truth. People don't fail carnivore because it's unsustainable. They fail because they make it too restrictive or also too complicated. And let's not forget about too extreme. Some of the common mistakes that take place here include eating too little, eating too lean, ignoring electrolytes, and also isolating socially, not to mention expecting perfection almost overnight. And that's what breaks sustainability. So then why exactly can carnivore be sustainable? Well, when it's done right, carnivore is actually one of the simplest ways to eat. Think about it. You remove things like decision fatigue, also food noise. Cravings will disappear. We talked about that in last week's video. And you also eliminate constant meal planning, right? Instead, you replace it with the likes of simple meals, stable energy, predictable hunger, and also mental clarity. Again, like anything else, simplicity is actually what makes it sustainable. So here are a few different ways that you can do carnivore long term, right? This is where nuance matters. There isn't just one way. Some people actually thrive with strict carnivore, right? Meat, salt, water, and that's it. And that's a great protocol, right? The fact is that's probably best for extreme elimination and healing phases. But then also some lean more towards flexible carnivore, which is basically mostly meat, and you have the occasional non-carnivore foods. You also have what's called an animal-based approach, which is something that has taken the world by storm in recent days. And that's meat with small additions like fruit, dairy, honey, things like that. And the key is finding what you can sustain without losing results. So now let's talk about real life, family, social, travel, right? Let's be honest here. Life includes a lot of different things, like date nights, holidays, time out with your children, travel, vacation, and family meals, right? And if your plan can't handle real life, then it won't last. Sustainable carnivore means knowing how to eat out, having simple go-to meals, being confident in your choices, and not stressing over perfection. And so here's a good time to really think about and start implementing the 80-20 principle, right? The reality for most people is that 90% consistency beats 100% perfection. And so if you stay mostly aligned, you'll still achieve fat loss, right? You'll still get great energy. You'll still observe reduced inflammation in a lot of places. And also better metabolic health. Again, consistency wins in the long term. So what's the mental side of sustainability, right? And this doesn't get talked about enough. But the biggest factor isn't food, it's actually your mindset. If you view carnivore as something that is a punishment or a restriction, then the truth is you're going to quit. It's as simple as that. However, if you view it as a tool, a lifestyle, an upgrade in your well-being, then you will stick with it because you have the incentive to do so. All in all, my friends, carnivore is sustainable. If you make it simple, if you make it flexible when it's needed, and if it's aligned with your life. Again, focus on the results and not perfection. That's it for me, my friends. Hopefully this is a helpful video. So if it is, hit the like button and subscribe, and make sure you comment the word sustainable down below, right? And if you want a simple carnivore framework that actually works, then continue to follow along with me as I continue to share what's going on in my carnivore lifestyle, and I trust that it helps you out in the long term as well. This is Jason Ligo with the Low Carb Lifestyle. I'll see you next time. Take care.